Hey guys, and welcome back to Boxmining. Today I'm super excited to be here, Ryan. Hey Ryan, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Great.
Good to be here.
And why I'm excited is because they're doing one of the biggest airdrops. They're S tier on our list, and we need to find out a little bit more about their project because what they are doing really baffled my mind. I think it baffled a lot of people, right? It's one of those big goals. What's your formal goal?
Yeah, so on our Twitter is future of omni-chain perps. Trade any asset on any chain, any interface, all powered by the order of the chain. We all know Binance, right? The largest centralized exchange in the world. And what makes it really great? One of the key things is its liquidity. It's 50% market share of the entire crypto trading market. The liquidity is very good.
Go in there, tap your finger, you can buy, sell anything, right?
Yeah, so we want to be better than Binance in terms of liquidity. And not just for crypto assets, but for any asset in a permissionless way.
So how does that even work? Because Binance is super huge,
Yeah.
right? And they have a lot of users, they have a lot of people trading there, both retail and institutional investors. How can you even be better than that?
So we believe in the future of DeFi,
Mhm.
in its transparency, in its permissionlessness, in its interoperability
Mhm.
of different players to
Mhm.
mass the liquidity, whether it's market makers, whether it's
Mhm.
traders, whether it's all the brokers and trading tools built on top of Orderly, which brings in the different components needed for liquidity. And the decentralized nature of everything can allow anyone to contribute liquidity. And we have Web3 tokenomics that will incentivize the whole ecosystem and bound them even to partake in our governance so that everyone's a stakeholder in this ecosystem to fulfill this mission.
Got it. So it's almost like the Avengers, right? All these superhero trading exchanges, whether it's like a centralized, decentralized exchange, they're all coming together. And because it's decentralized and permissionless, anyone can participate and contribute liquidity. So that's why we can beat Binance, because you're decentralizing and can combine all these parties together.
Yeah, exactly. So you can think of it as aggregation. So retail professionals, like famous market makers, retail, they all contribute liquidity. Exchanges, they can build on top of us, utilize liquidity, distribute it to traders around the world, have custom UI for them, give people the experience that they need, and not having to worry about liquidity and everything in masses unorderly in a decentralized way.
And that's something that we've never seen before, right? Because traditional finance was always centralized,
Yeah.
right? People couldn't contribute. So it was always like, oh, I can go to this exchange and then stay on this exchange. Or I can go to this exchange and maybe the liquidity is not as good. I want to trade a coin. It's not as fluid, not as fast. But when it comes to decentralized finance, you're given a new opportunity to really combine everything that's there together almost, right?
Yes, exactly. It doesn't exist in DeFi yet, obviously not CeFi. We want to build this and have this ecosystem and map liquidity for the crypto users first, and eventually the TradFi users as they embrace blockchain technology, as they trade more in crypto and in DeFi. We have the BlackRocks of the world with the ETFs now. One of our investors, Nomura Securities or Laser Digital, like the future of crypto is going to be more and more institutional. And they're all coming in and want to be able to embrace that and offer the best infrastructure and liquidity for those.
So it's not really a DeFi against CeFi. That's actually quite an interesting concept. So even traditional players, they can come in and use this. But how does it even work? Because let's say, for example, we have an exchange, a big exchange or a capital B. How would they tap into this, or how would you tap into their liquidity?
There are a few exchanges now that build their DEX decentralized products on top of Orderly. There's one called BTSC. There's one called Ascendex. Both their DEXs are on top of Orderly. Our biggest broker, Woo, has a centralized exchange, and then they built a decentralized exchange called WooFi. Their perps called WooFi Pro is our largest broker now, and that's on top of Orderly. So this is already happening. We're trading anywhere from $300 million to $1 billion a day in volumes. We're regularly ranked top 5 in terms of perpetuals volumes in DeFi. Yesterday ranked number 4. So this is already happening. And the beauty of DeFi is that we have the SDK open sourced. Anyone can tap into it from around the world because of its transparency, right? The code is in smart contracts. The assets are in smart contracts. They can track exactly where the assets sit on the chains. And we have our own chain, the Orderly chain, that settles everything. So all the transactions are tracked on our chain, all the trades. So there's full transparency for any user or builder.
And your objective here is just combine as much trade volume as possible, just build that up over time, right?
Yeah. Our objective is to let anyone contribute liquidity to Orderly and anyone to take liquidity, so to trade via some broker, some UI, built on top of orderly to get the result that they want.
And it's really behind the scenes. So what you're saying is that, okay, all these exchanges are on top. You might not even see orderly, but they're using orderly.
So analogy is like in TradFi, there's an exchange called the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. That's like our positioning. And then there's all these hundreds of banks and brokers on top that are plugged into their liquidity. So it's a similar thing. We're behind the scenes, but usually our builders, the brokers, it says powered by orderly.
And how do you make money in this case? Like when people use you, or how does it work?
Yeah, so it's trading fees. So that's similar to Binance, right? For every dollar traded via any broker, there's fees for the broker plus us to combine. The user feels one transaction fee, and that gets split between the brokers and us. Yeah,
Right.
so it's simple. We have a Dune dashboard that actually shows how much are the orderly revenues per day, the broker revenue.
And roughly how much is that?
So now orderly is generating anywhere from $80,000 to $200,000 per day total. Yeah, orderly takes about 40% of it. So it's about 40K to 100K per day. And that's all live. And our brokers now, up to date, has made over $6 million in revenues within 6 months. Orderly around 5 million.
So it's already live. It's already generating money. And then what's next? Why do you even need to do an airdrop and get community involved here?
Yeah, we want to build something very big and decentralized. We announced the airdrop, right? We have our own points program called Merits that anyone can get these merits while they trade on top of any of the 12 brokers on top of Orderly. And all the information is available on our website, orderly.network. So the point is that, in the future, when we're huge, we want the traders, the market makers, the builders, anyone who will be a part of the ecosystem to have tokens, to use tokens to get a piece of protocol revenues, majority of the revenues, and to have governance and say into how the protocol will behave.
It's interesting because you have a product already, it's already being live, and now you want to add to the community, which is different from a lot of products, which is like they want the community first and no product.
Yeah.
But you guys have a fully working product that's making money, and then you want more people to use it. So I think here's true opportunity for airdrop farmers. So if you guys are airdrop farming, I actually want to tap into this, your mind here, because you said there's a usage of orderly and then the brokers on top. So is there like a double farming opportunity here?
Yes, exactly. So there's 12 brokers on top. There's about half of them are pre-TGE. So they have their own points. And there's one called Sharp AI. There's one called Wui, invested by Binance Labs. LogX, which is an aggregator. So there's a whole bunch of brokers like that on top. They have their own points. So a trader can, trade on one of them and get dual points, right? They can get the broker's point, they can get our point, right? Yeah. And Orderly is actually the second largest user of Layer 0 because we have cross-chain messaging using Layer 0, which is a big interoperability project, right? So we're about 25% of Layer 0 volumes, and the second largest user is Stargate, which is their flagship product. So yeah, people can actually get triple farming.
So Layer 0, the brokers, and Orderly.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's assume that I'm a new user, right? What if I just don't know anything? Just give me step by step. How should I do this?
Yeah, you can go to app.orderly.network. You can connect wallet and see like how many merits you have, which are the points. You see the list and the links of all the brokers that you can trade on. You can try one, you can try multiple. It's up to you.
Got it.
The wallet will count all the merits combined, right? So then some of them will have their own points. You can try that out and see for yourself, right? And interacting with any of them, you're potentially farming their points, us, and Layer 0.
Let's talk lastly about your end goal here, right? What's the end game of Orderly?
Yeah, the end game of Orderly is to build something truly useful and decentralized and community owned that powers liquidity for any asset that people want, right? So we only have perps now, but spot, potentially options, and potentially real assets later, and to amass enough liquidity that the traditional institutions will come in for crypto and eventually for real world assets.
So you even foresee like BlockRock using they're saying, okay, this is better.
Yeah, that would be the eventual goal, right? There's no point in having all these centralized clearinghouses and even exchanges, I think, in TradFi when the whole thing can be replaced by blockchain technology, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And guys, I'll put the link down below, and I will do dedicated videos for airdrop farming. And I really hope this goes well. And this is one of the first interviews we have with Ron. So I want to end it here because it's a very lofty vision, it's a very big goal. And I really appreciate your analogies, Ran. It's really good to get people to know what it is. But if you guys have any questions, of course, leave it on the comment section below. And of course, definitely check out the airdrop farming.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Ran.
Thank you.